Hello, bookish friends in the internet. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Drew, and this is Drew's Ambitious Reading. And for today's video, it is going to be my Readathin Announcement / TBR video. As you guys know, with all my Readathon announcements, I usually have them all combined in one video. So I'll tell you all the information you need for the Readathon, and then I'll go over the prompts and challenges, and then I'll also show you the books that I picked. And we have a huge stack here, so I don't want to talk too much longer for our intro. So without further ado, this is the second readathon that I'm doing in 2023 called Readathin. If you do not know what Readathin is a readathon that got started back in 2017 by my good friends Donna over at Mom's Book Collection and Manda over at Manda the Biblio. They are both lovely ladies that you should check out. I'll leave all their social medias down below, so definitely go follow them. If you see me looking down a lot, it's because I have all the prompts and information on Donna's blog that I'm using. So she has a bunch of info of what Readathin is. So without further ado, let's jump into this. And this is Readathin February, from the month of February. So this is kind of like a part one to my February TBR, which so far for January, oh my god, my nose. So far for January, I have read 7 books so far. As you can see, those are the 7 books. I'm not going to show any more because I want to keep it a surprise. But I read 7 books for the month of January so far. I'm working on my 8th book right now, but that's not what we're here for. We're here about Readathin. So, Readathin. What is Readathin? So, Readathin is a readathon, a month-long readathon, so it's happening from February 1st all the way to February 28th, so it's a shorter month this month, but I'm hoping I would get to all these lovely books I have picked out. But Readathin started back in 2017, like I said, and they've been running it for a few years now. It happens every February, May, August, and November every year. We just had one in November, obviously, which is so crazy to me that we're already here for February. The goal for Readathin is to thin out your TBRs. So I know, especially me right now, last time I counted my books, I had over 1,000 books in my room currently, and half of those books are unread. So you can try and figure out the math of that. I'm not too sure what the math of that is, but I have over 1,000 books in my bedroom right now, so I definitely need to get my TBR down to at least 0 by 24 is what I'm doing. I haven't made my goals video yet, but yeah, you're supposed to read books. This is the only time where you can't buy any new books either from the library, or you can't really buy any new books anywhere. So you can't buy books to get it for the prompts and whatnot. You have to use the books that you have on your TBR. So let's just jump into the reading challenges. There is a cute little bingo board here, if my phone wants to work. So there's this bingo board, which I'll leave all down below. But I have the reading prompts here on my phone, so let's just go over them real quick. So challenge 1 is going to be LGBTQIA+. Read a book with a main character that identifies as LGBTQIA+, which I love that challenge because I can add in my book club pick, even though I don't know if any of the characters, I'm assuming they are since that's why we picked it, but yeah, I'm not too sure. But I have a book club surrounding LGBTQIA+, so if you guys like to join us, let me know. Challenge 2, which is one that I actually recommended in Amanda's and Donna's Discord, is from a subscription box or recently bought. Read a book that you either got in a book subscription box or that you recently bought. So simple. Another simple one is new to you author. Read a book from an author you never read from before. prompt number 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Prompt 4 is book you meant to read in 2022. So what's a book that you meant to get to in 2022 but you didn't? That definitely will help you out with thinning out your TBR. Next prompt is also another easy one. It's your favorite genre. Read a book in your favorite genre. Another one's also easy. It's a read a graphic novel. Next challenge is title begins with F because it's the month of February. So read a book that starts with the letter F, not counting a, the, or of. So yeah. And then this next one is kind of a hard challenge for me, but I was able to not complete it, but at least have something for it. And that is random word. Randomly generate a word and find a book that has that in the title. And then Donna linked a good website for random word generators, so I'll leave that down below as well. Next challenge is features a romance. Read a book that has a romance. It doesn't have to be the main focus of the story, but has to be part and kind of a big part of the story. So easy enough. Next is 2017 release, since Readathin did started back in 2017. Read a book that comes out in the year 2017. It can be anywhere from from January to December. Second to final reading challenge is read a book under 300 pages, another simple one. And then the final challenge is mood read. Read a book that you're really in the mood to read. So all of those are simple, easy challenges that you can complete. There's also some self-care prompts. I'm not really a huge self-care type person, but I will leave all of these challenges down below because I don't want to put them in here with my bookish video, you know. Anyways, so back to the top of the challenges. For a book with LGBTQIA plus book, I have 2 options for this because I don't know, by the time that this video goes up, I might be finished with one of these books. So I have 2 options depending on what I'm in the mood of at the time. So the first option I have here is Blood Like Magic by Leslie Sambury. This is a first book in a brand new duology, and this will be perfect for the month of February because I'm trying to focus on BIPOC authors in February, not just in February, but throughout the whole year, obviously. And this is the first book in a new duology. I've been meaning to read this book for so many years now. I think this one came out in 2021, I want to say. I know book 2 came out this year, and I own book 2 because I got it recently at the Barnes & Noble sale. Let's see. Yeah, 2021. So it's been on my TBR since it came out in June of 2021. And I just been meaning to get to it. And I know my friend Clint from Reed's Readers here on BookTube recently read this duology and absolutely loved it. So Clint, I'm reading this because of you. Next book that I'm picking for LGBTQIA, if I don't get to this one in January, I will read it in February and post my review. Thank you so much to Penguin Teen for sending me a finished copy of this. You will see this book again in my January book haul. And that is Another Dimension of Us by Mike Albol. I think it's how you say the author's last name. I'm not too sure. I'm so sorry if I butchered it. This sounds so good. This is a YA LGBTQIA plus contemporary novel that is set in space. So there's 2 different timelines. One set in 2044 and the other's 1986. And it just follows these 2 guys who's in love with his best friend, and at the height of the AIDS crisis as well, aimed the homophobia running the rampant across America. Tommy can never share his feeling. Then one terrible night, Ranolio, I'm so sorry, is struck by lightning after he emerges from the storm, a very different boy. So it sounds so good. I know this is getting compared to The Breakfast Club meets Stranger Things, and I don't really love those two comparisons, so I'm nervous for this one, but I requested a finished copy of this from Penguin Teen, and they sent it my way, so thank you so much, and on to the next one. So next prompt is read a book from a book subscription box. This one's a little damaged, but I'm getting a replacement for it because as you can see, it would be damaged. So I have 2 copies of this, so I'm going to be reading Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. As you can see, there's that huge tear right there, which I was so disappointed it was ripped when I opened my box. So I went and asked Book of the Month if they will let me have a new copy, and they said they will, so they're sending one my way currently. But this is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. This is the 2nd installment of the Alex Duran trilogy. I know this is supposed to be a 3rd book. I don't know when, because this one did just come out this month. This is one of my highly anticipated reads of 2023 as well. So when Book of the Month did the option for this one, I was really excited along with everyone else. But I'm hoping this will be a 5-star read for me as well, because like I said, it's one of my most anticipated reads, and I love everything I've read by Leigh Bardugo so far, so I'm excited and nervous to see what's going to happen in Hellbent, because Ninth House was creepy and a wild ride. So definitely a great October read, even though it's not really October. Next is to read a new to you author, and for this one I couldn't really think of any new to me authors because a lot of them are ones that I either read from before or they're just like my auto-buy authors, but this one's a brand new author to me, and that is Judy Lin, and that is the author of A Magic Steeped in Poison, obviously by Judy Lin. I've been hearing nothing but amazing things about this duology this past year. This cover is gorgeous. I can't stop staring at it. I believe Manda actually recommended this to me for my 12 books recommended by 12 followers or something like that. If it is in that video, I'll leave that video up above or down below. But yeah, very excited. First book in a duology, and I do own book 2, so if I want to binge read a series in February, I definitely would like to get to that. I don't know too much about this one, except it has to do with tea, and there's a magic system dealing with tea and making tea and all that. So yeah, I'm very terrible with summaries, as you guys know, but I'm definitely very excited to get to it, and it's not so thick as my other books that I have picked out, so I feel like I can get through this one. Next is a book I think is the book you meant to read in 2022, right? Yeah, book you meant to read in 2022. I did started this last year, but I never finished it, so I would like to pick this back up. I'm definitely going to have to restart this one, and that is The Dragon Promise by Elizabeth Lim. This is the 2nd and final book in the 6 Crimson Cranes duology. This is the retelling. I don't know exactly. I'm so bad. But this follows our main character named Shuri. I don't know why. I was thinking of another book from a book I'm currently reading. And she is supposed to go to the castle and be like, I don't know how to explain this without spoiling it, but her brothers, she has 6 brothers, and they get turned into cranes. It's not really a spoiler because it's literally on the cover of book 1, and it's in the synopsis of book 1. But when I was reading this back in October of last year, I was really enjoying it, and I actually got pretty far into it. I got to page 180, so not too bad. I don't know why I didn't finish it, because this is a series I wanted to complete last year. But nonetheless, I'm hoping in the month of February I can wrap this duology up. Next is a book to read from your favorite genre, and for me, as you guys can tell, my favorite genre is fantasy now. I've been a huge fantasy reader for quite a while, but more so in the last year or 2. So I want to pick up another sequel / another duology, and that is Master of Iron by Teresa Levenseller. This is the 2nd and final book in this duology as well. If you can't tell by the theme, I want to read diverse books in February and finish up some series I have on my list. So this is one of those mini series I need to get to. I'm very nervous for this one, but also excited because I know my friend Charlie, who you guys know and love here on this channel, she read this last year and she said it was in her favorite list of 2022. So I'm excited to see if that's going to happen to me, because me and her have very similar reading taste. So looking forward to see what's going to happen in here. But again, also very nervous because this is the finale of the series. And I really, really loved book 1. I gave book 1 5 stars. And I actually buddy read book 1 with my friend Charlie. So pretty excited to get to this one. Hopefully I will. And if I don't, I'm going to be pretty upset. Next one is to read a graphic novel. And this one I just got this month as well. So you'll see this again in my January book haul. And that is The Mortal Instruments, the graphic novel, volume 6 by Cassandra Clare, art done by Cassandra Jean. As you can tell, this is the 6th installment of the series. I don't know how long this graphic novel series will be. I'm just happy they're continuing with it in 2023. So I don't want to say too much about this, but this is, like I said, the 6th installment of this graphic novel series. So there's a bunch of spoilers from the previous 5 books that I read. But yeah, I'm gonna add this in like a weekend reading vlog here soon, so I might have to pick another graphic novel book. But I've read the majority of my graphic novel, which is kind of a bad thing for me, but this is the only one I have unread right now. So when February comes around, I'm definitely gonna read this one first. Yeah, it was one of my most anticipated reads of last year, and I never got to it, so hopefully I'll get to it this year. Next challenge, I have 2 books picked out for this one, and it's for the title of Beginning with the Letter F. So both of these are buddy reads for me. I don't know which one I'm going to start with first, because I haven't heard, well, I heard back from both of my friends, but we don't have a set date for these. So the first one I picked was Fire by Kirsten Cashore. Obviously, Fire starts with F. This is the 2nd installment of the Graceling Realm series. I almost wanted to say trilogy, but it's not anymore. I want to continue on with this series as well. This is now a 5-book series. I think there's going to be a 6th book in this installment, so if there is, that would be fantastic. If not, then I think it wraps up at book 5. But I recently received book 5 from Penguin Teen, so I would love to binge read the series this year and to get caught up and to finally review book 5. So I'm buddy reading this with my friend Taylor. So Taylor confirmed with me earlier today before filming this video that we are going to buddy read this one in February. So I'm very excited to see what she thinks of it, because this is going to be a reread for me. So very excited to get to this nonetheless, even though it is a reread for me. The next one that I picked for this challenge is Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. This is a first book, or technically book 3 in this series. It follows Rosalind, I think, Rosie, set in 1931 Shanghai. I actually have this on my January TBR, which, as you guys saw, I haven't got to this one yet. So if I haven't got to this one in January, it's definitely going on my February TBR. Still very excited to get to this, even though this one did come out last year. Another 2022 release that I never got to, but I really want to this month. So, and I'm also going to be buddy reading this with my friend Lori here at the Chatty Bookworm. I'll leave her YouTube channel down below. Definitely go check her out. But I cannot wait to buddy read this one with you, Lori. Next is for Random Word Generator, and for me, I got the word award. So I wasn't too sure what to do with that, with the word award. So I went with, oh no, I guess my books got stuck together. I went with Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I picked this one up for the Random Word Generator, which was a word, because this won the award for the Goodreads Choice Awards, and also this deals with tennis, so I feel like there's some awards with winning in tennis and whatnot, so I felt like this would be a good book for that. And also, this is just another book I meant to get to last year and never did, so I'm hoping Readathin would help me out with that. Next is a book to read read a book with romance in it, and this one has romance, and it's another new release that you haven't seen yet on my channel, and that is Be With Me by Jessica Kinsolo. This is the 4th installment of the She's With Me series. I recently wrapped up the original 3, and this is a spin-off series slash set in the same world type of thing going on. This follows the twin of Aiden, so if you know what that means, that's all I'm going to say about this one. It sounds so good. I cannot wait to read this in February. And again, this follows my theme of continuing with series and wrapping up some series. So I know this is supposed to be a book 5, but I don't know when book 5 will come out, since this one did just come out in January. Next is to read a book that was released in 2017. I have 2 options for that, so I'm not sure which book I'll be in the mood of at the time. But that one is Final Girls by Riley Sager. I could read an adult thriller on this list, which is very short. I feel like I can get through this one. Or I can do An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. This is also another short fantasy YA fantasy. And it's also a standalone, so both of these are standalone books, so if I do get to them, I won't have to worry about sequels or anything like that. They're just a one and done deal. This is Riley Sager's this is the very first book by Riley Sager, and my only Riley Sager book I have unread, this by his newest one coming out, and this is the one of the 2 Margaret Rogerson books I haven't read yet either, so depending on what I'm in the mood for, one of these books I will be reading for the 2017 release prompt. The second and final prompt is to read a book under 300 pages, and this one I'm very excited to read. I'm definitely reading this in February, and that is Lost in a Moment and Found by Shauna McGuire. This is the 8th installment of their Wayward Children series. I absolutely loved each and every one of these books. But this is literally like 140 something pages. So I'm very excited to get to this, but nervous as well, because every time I finish it so quickly, I'm like, oh wait, now I have to wait for book 9 to come out in January. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll love this one. This is one of my most anticipated reads of 2023. And again, following the theme of completing series slash catching up on series for February. And the final book for this prompt is mood reading. And for me, I want to mood read a romance book. Another romance. What is this? This is Well Traveled by Jen DeLuca. This is the 4th and maybe final book in the Well Met series. I'm not too sure if this is the final one. I'll have to double check on Goodreads. Last time I checked, it says there was only 4 books, so maybe this is the final one. But I'm excited for this. This was another 2022 release that came out at the very end of 2022, so I didn't get to it for that reason. But when Barnes & Noble had that huge 50% off deal on hardcovers, I bought this in that book haul, so I'm very happy to have this in my collection, and hopefully I'll get to it soon. And I hope I love this one as much as I've loved the other 3 books I read. So if this is the final one, I guess I'm wrapping up another series this month, but if not, I'm going to be super happy slash super sad, because that means I would have to wait a whole year for book 5. So I don't know if there is a 5th book in the series or if it's just a 4-book series. But yeah, this is the final book on my Readathin TBR channel, or TBR list. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, turn your notification on so you don't miss any new videos coming from me soon. And if you want to buddy read any of these books with me, let me know down below. I'm always down for a good buddy read, and I'll talk to you guys down in the comments below. Thank you again, Amanda and Donna, for hosting this readathon. I cannot wait to get started, and I hope you guys have an amazing readathon. And again, all the info for Readathin and for Donna and Amanda's social medias will be listed down below, and I'll talk to you guys in another new video soon. Maybe my January book haul, maybe not, we'll see. But I hope you all have a great day or night, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.